Hi guys, I'm back with another installment of my vlog. I want to answer another question today. Someone asked again on my Instagram, what is Cinema Club? And I'm really glad that that person asked. Cinema Club is one of our extracurricular clubs for our homeschool. One of the only things I liked about school when I went as a kid was the fun clubs and activities that you could join up with. I was in the Monty Python club when I was in high school, photography club, whatever, you name it. So even though we kind of do whatever we want at our unschool, we have clubs. Like Bake Club is the name of our cooking club, which is basically just Henry, but we still call it Bake Club. It started as Cake Club, but then he moved beyond cake, so it's Bake Club. Similarly, Cinema Club actually started 6 years ago. Henry, again, got really into Akira Kurosawa's samurai movies. And so we decided to start watching kind of all of them, and we called our little club Kurosawa Club. We pretty quickly got bored with the Kurosawa movies. I mean, at this point, Henry was 5, 6 years old. So it was a lot that he was sitting through these long movies with subtitles. And we decided to kind of expand the idea into just Cinema Club. And the motto of Cinema Club is we watch movies worth watching. So that's not to say you can't watch some crappy movies, but if you're watching a crappy movie or a so bad it's good movie, that's not Cinema Club watching the movie, right? So movies are my favorite thing. They're one of my favorite forms of artistic expression. I love watching movies. I would watch a movie every single day if I could. I usually don't get the chance to watch a movie every single day, but I try. I think I average one per day. Some days I watch two, you know. I've always loved movies. I had a subscription to Premiere Magazine as a teenager. I would go see movies at the UC Theater in Berkeley, which was a great repertory theater that played all kinds of art house and retro weirdness with a daily changing calendar. I used to skip school when I was in high school. Sorry, Mom and Dad. On Fridays, I would take off at noon and go see whatever the new movie was that came out that year. That day, man, I'm tripping over my own tongue today, but I'm just gonna keep on going. Just to date myself, I actually skipped my own high school graduation to go see Jurassic Park on opening day in 1993. So, lifelong movie lover, and I wanted to foster this love of movie in my kids also. And Henry and James are right alongside me. They are devoted members of Cinema Club, exploring the whole wide world of movies with me and Sean. We watch everything. We watch horror, we watch science fiction, we watch fantasy, we watch foreign films, Japanese, German, Swedish, old films, new films, you name it. We're kind of in there to explore everything. If there's too much really adult content, sex stuff, adult relationship stuff that's just going to go right over their heads, sometimes we skip it, or we have a big talk about it before we watch it. I like to give context to movies. I also like to go into movies cold if I can, so it's kind of a conflict there, but at least for the kids, I can provide them with a limited contextual framework without actually like spoiling the movies for them. So yeah, Cinema Club. We have a big list of movies. I actually made the list, and then the kids can pick from my list, just based on, like I said, movies worth watching from the history of cinema. And sometimes we stick with a theme, sometimes we bounce all around. It really kind of depends on everyone's mood. Sometimes we go with seasonal stuff. In this last week of Cinema Club, we actually spent some time trying to catch up on movies that we missed last year. What we watched last week, I guess I should clarify, sometimes Sean and I watch a movie together without the kids. That doesn't count as Cinema Club. But I think in my Cinema Club roundup, I might just kind of go through all the movies we watched in the last week, because I love movies and I love talking about movies. I'll try not to give away any real spoilers, but sometimes I might mention something. So if you really, really, really want to go in totally cold on a movie, maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say don't watch my video, but I don't know. we'll figure it out as we go, like everything else, right? So this last week, we watched, Sean and I went and saw The Lighthouse at the Academy Theater, which was amazing. Black and white, very moody art piece about basically two men going crazy in a lighthouse. Highly recommended if you like arty movies. I say that to sort of distinguish between if you're a big fan of just sort of like, give me the latest Star Wars or Marvel whatever, you might not like The Lighthouse. If you appreciate black and white films, amazing cinematography, incredible acting, the thing was written, it could have been a play. I would love to see Eggers stage it as a play. Willem Dafoe was amazing. I think he deserves some kind of an award, but I also think that all those awards are bullshit, so I don't actually pay attention to them. Robert Pattinson was great too. I don't really have any complaints or criticisms about this movie. It's a little slow in parts, but that's part of the pacing and that gets you into the frame of mind of these guys who were just stuck in a lighthouse. I will say, spoiler alert, there is full frontal mermaid vagina, which was pretty exciting for me. I was like, whoa, can they show that in an R-rated movie? But I guess because it's a fantasy vagina, it doesn't count as porn. I don't know. Anyhow, recommend that one. We did not take the kids to that one. We also watched Jojo Rabbit. That one we took the kids to. The whole family went and saw it at the Academy Theater. Possibly the best movie that came out last year. I don't know. It's Jojo Rabbit and Parasite are probably, for me, the two best movies that came out last year that I saw. We went in pretty cold. I knew that it was, written and directed by Taika Waititi. I knew that it was about a boy in the Hitler Youth, and I knew that Hitler was in it. I didn't know anything else about the movie. I knew it was going to be funny because that's what I expect from this director. And it did have a very funny treatment, but it also it made me cry tears of sorrow, made me cry tears of joy. I was not prepared for the intense emotional journey that I went on during this movie. It was incredible. I am Jewish, so I don't know if it affected me more personally because of that than it would necessarily for a non-Jewish viewer, but I think everybody has something to gain from watching this movie. An incredible movie, great performances by everybody. I was, like I said, laughing the whole way through, but also crying, and just go see it. It's the best movie I saw this year. Best movie I saw, I don't know. It's up there. Go see Jojo Rabbit. See it if you can in a theater. It's at the Academy right now in Portland, which means it's about to be not anywhere. And I think it's going to come on streaming pretty soon if it's not already. We also saw Midsummer. We watched that one on streaming the other night. We did miss that one when it came out in the theater. Just Sean and I watched that one. I liked it a lot. I know a lot of people had some negative stuff to say about it. I didn't think it was as good as Hereditary, but it's kind of hard to follow up a movie like Hereditary. But for what it was, I thought it was incredible. I loved the setting. I loved the Swedish folks in the movie. I hated the Americans, but I think I was supposed to hate the Americans. I really didn't find the main character to be sympathetic, and that's hard to watch a movie where you don't actually care about what's happening to the main character. I did think that the lead actress, I'm blanking out on her name, I think she did a good job, but I think the character as written was just kind of a little character. Like I said, it's hard to watch, especially a long movie, over 2 hours, where, again, you don't really care about the main character, but just everything else that was going on, the sets, the costumes, what the folks are doing at the Midsummer Festival, and the way that the story unfolds was incredible. Highly recommended. Again, I wouldn't take the kids to that one. It's a bit much. They could do it, but it's kind of right on the line for them. The other movies we watched this week that were older, way older, we watched the original Absent-Minded Professor from 1961. James was playing with Flubber at the Science Museum this week, and I was like, Flubber, you got to check out this movie. So we watched it. It holds up pretty well. The scene where the guy who owns the savings and loan, the evil sort of billionaire guy who's messing up everyone's lives, gets the Flubber shoes, and he can't stop bouncing, and he's just bouncing up and down in the air, and they can't figure out how to get him down. Was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. it's a fun movie. It holds up pretty well. It made me curious to revisit Son of Flubber, so we might check that out. I'm not gonna watch it anytime soon, but there you go. And the other movie we watched this week was Splinter. That was from 2008, indie horror movie that I think flew under a lot of people's radar. It was actually my second time watching it in the last 2 years. I watched it by myself while Sean was in the hospital, and then watched it with everyone the other night. It's actually pretty good. It starts out kind of weak and it makes you feel like, oh, is this going to be like kind of low budget crappy? But as you get into it, it actually gets really good. Very effective body horror, parasite horror type stuff. You do get to see a guy cut another guy's arm off using a combination of a box cutter and a cinder block, which is very satisfying and funny. I tentatively recommend that one. If you're a horror fan and you're looking for something that is unexpected, definitely check it out. If you're just kind of general audience, not a horror person necessarily, maybe take a pass on that one. That's what we watched in the last week. Next week coming up, I'm really looking forward to, we're seeing Shogun Assassin at the Hollywood Theater and the original Rankin Bass animated Hobbit at the Hollywood Theater. Both of those I'm super looking forward to. That's going to be the whole family going to both of them. And of course, we've all seen all those before many times, but always worth a rewatch, and especially if you get a chance to catch it on a big screen, and especially at the Hollywood, because it's my favorite big screen in Portland. So that's Cinema Club. I think I might actually do like a Cinema Sunday type thing where I just do this again every week, because that's how many movies we watch, and I have a lot to say about movies. So until next time, thanks for watching. See you later.